The technology is advancing at an exponential rate. An example of this is the DNA computer that has been designed to use the biomolecules adenine, cytosine, guanine, or thymine to form patterns that perform logical operations. This was discovered by Leonard Adleman, who in 1990s solved the 7-node Hamiltonian problem with the first DNA computer. First, like any computational system, it can be programmed using the compiler X to compile biomolecules into DNA that use chemical reactions that resemble the abstract behavior of biomolecules and use anatomic operations to solve or convert the result into a language that can be understood by DNA.
Part number 1.2 DNA computing architecture. In figure number 5, you can see it has different units and logical gates in DSD circuits. There is a memory pool and the instruction pool. The first one is where the instructions go and storage. The second one make what the instruction pool receive. And finally, it has an outcome where all the results are shown. DNA computing, it's not meant to replace silicon computers. It's more a complement for each other. Number 2, results. Leonard Edelman was the first thinking about DNA computing, of using it to make longer and complex processes. He had the idea that any number of DNA molecules can be formed by changing the sequence of them. So that's what he did. Now DNA computing is useful because it uses less energy and it can solve a lot of problems.
Basically, the researcher's future tell us a little bit about and in which fields DNA computing is now focusing. For example, it can be connected with living cells to give new detection methods in the medical devices. Another example is the use of DNA in steganography. That this is used to hide messages in a microdot instead of the binary code. And finally, and the most important thing for me, is the optimization of space in the memory, where the DNA occupies only 1 bit per cubic nanometer. And finally, we have the conclusion. DNA computing is a new way of approaching problem solving in the field of computational technology and any other field in the world, and in which scientists seek to replicate the biological information that we have in our cells to be stored and replicated for a long time. In addition, this new type of technology is expected to be much faster and more reliable than those that currently are in use, and in addition to not requiring an external source.